Hello and welcome to my channel to plan for. Today I want to share with you my weekly setup for my bullet journal. And as you might already see, it's very much focused around coffee. And that has a reason because I just recently bought another ink. And yeah, so the whole theme is inspired by an ink, and that's what I got. So that's the Coffee Monsters and Co. Ink. The ink itself is called Forgotten Iced Coffee, and it was released in collaboration with Estabrook. And yeah, I saw it a couple times, watched online, and I think it's a very beautiful color. I don't need another ink. I have already 30 bottles of ink, so that's my 31st bottle of ink. But I'm still happy I have it. It's a very nice color. I like all the properties of this ink, and yeah. So now that I have this ink, I thought I really wanted to use it, but also I think the packaging of this ink deserves attention. I like how it's like the box is closed and the illustrations on the box. And I think also this little ingredients list, like with um, what the percentage of like is Estabrook, the Coffee Monsters Co, coffee grounds, Arctic ice cubes, oat milk, unknown sparkles. I think it's nice. It's nice, and of course there is a safety note: not safe for consumption. Well, I am not planning on drinking this ink. I'm planning on writing with it in my fountain pen. So now let's take a look at the ink itself and swatch it on the paper. So as you see, it's not only the box that is really nice, but also the bottle, the shape, and I think the glass. It's kind of like an ice glass, a very nice texture. Um, yeah, so very much attention to the product packaging, but it's not about the packaging. Actually, it's time to see what the ink itself looks like. So we'll swatch this ink here in my Arch and Olive journal, and it just have to be a little careful because Arch and Olive paper is not the best one for fountain pen inks. Well, I would say it's medium. I mean, they're definitely um, better paper qualities for using fountain pens, but also definitely worse. So I just try to pay attention that I don't put too much ink on the page. I just want to avoid that it bleeds through, but um, I use fountain pens all the time, write with them in my bullet journal every single day, and I have never had any issues there. I usually use a medium nib, sometimes a broad nib, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's give this ink swatch a minute to dry, and can use this time to put on page some of the stickers. As I said, I uh, cut up one of my washi tapes I found in my collection, and yeah, I'm just gonna use the different pieces. That's this washi tape. I don't know where I got it from. But now let's see a writing sample. I know with this dip pen, the writing looks a bit different as it puts more ink on the page than my regular fountain pen. But yeah, let's ink up the fountain pen later on and see what this looks like. So here we are. just trying to see that I write the name of the ink correctly, and very good at misspelling ink names, brands. Well, doesn't bother me too much, but I try to pay attention. And well, if a mistake still happens, well, it's my bullet journal, so who cares? Sometimes I correct a mistake, go over it with correction tape. Sometimes I leave it. I don't know. It's not the worst thing if I misspell something here. So okay, then I think it's nice if I document what ink I want to use during this week. Just yeah, when you go back and you see, ooh, this ink looked nice, or I didn't really like this one too much, then you can see, okay, what ink it actually was. And as I said, with my 31 bottles of ink now, it's all not always so easy to immediately know uh, which ink I use. Also, I have a certain color scheme for my inks, which I like. Most of my inks are in the blue, black, gray area. So I also have a few reds, but yeah, I definitely have a strong focus on bluish, grayish inks. And that's just, yeah, what I like. Okay, so that's what the writing sample looks like. Put this ink away. So far, I have never spilled a bottle of ink. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it that way, so that away safely and focus on decorating this weekly spread. Okay, now that I have placed the washi tape cutouts on the page in order, or or position them in a way I like it, can put them on the page. That's why I also like to cut out the little pieces of washi tape I want to use, because um, it's just for me nicer if I can move them around on the page, see, okay, how does it look like? And usually it takes me a few attempts till I found an arrangement I like. And now it's just putting them on a page, and later on I want to draw in the borders of the boxes, and you already see them. I You can see I have already drawn them in with my pencil. It just helps me also to visualize how this will look like. So for the borders of the boxes, I'm using one of the gel pens that were part of the March 2025 subscription box of Argent Olive. Um, I'm really trying to use more of the supplies I get in the subscription boxes. I just really want to evaluate for myself, am I using the stuff, or am I just accumulating a whole bunch of pens and other supplies, and uh, then it would be better to cancel the subscription, even though I like getting it. But it's just really a question of how much of that stuff do I use, and so I'm trying to be more intentional about really when I'm doing my weekly setup. Okay, take a look at all the supplies, all the pens, pencils, stickers, washi tape I have, and well, actually use them and not always grab the same things and not take advantage of all the nice stuff I have. Okay, now that we have all the lines drawn in for the boxes, it is time to uh, put in the actually the days of the week. Again, I'm using the gel pen, and I just decided to write in the days of the week by hand with my regular handwriting. I'm willing to put in quite a bit of time into um, decorating, putting stickers there, but with the calligraphy or even only printing out the titles, days of the week, I usually don't do that, and it's not that important for me, and I think my handwriting is okay enough to do that, and well, any handwriting is okay enough to do that. I mean, in the end, it's my journal, and I can read my handwriting, and um, it's just not worth for it for me to put in the extra time to print out the days of the week. Sometimes I do it, but not very often. Okay, so um, also what I wanted to do this week is put a few things I already had planned on my weekly thread. Usually I use those boxes to write in a couple sentences of a day. It's not a planner for me in the sense of keeping track of my appointments, meetings, whatever. I do this digitally on my uh, Google Calendar or Outlook calendar, but here it's more of memory keeping stuff that later on, if I want to back, I can see, okay, what happened or what did I do on Tuesday, and maybe only read those 2 or 3 sentences I write in here and get a feeling for what happened on that day. In my daily logs, or it's not really logs here. I would say my daily brain dump or morning pages, or I mean, just journal, long form journaling. I usually write about a page, sometimes a bit more, but that's nothing really I ever go back to. It's just really what goes through my mind at this very moment, and yeah, it's not stuff that has any importance a couple days later on. So this week is, for my standards, um well, busy one, it's not correct, but I already have a few things scheduled this week. Like there is the some mechanic technician is coming on Monday to fix some stuff. I'm meeting for a friend for apéro, and then on Tuesday I finally get my piano tuned. I have tried to arrange this appointment now for weeks and it didn't work out. And then also good timing, on the same day, in the evening I have my piano lesson. And then I also have something very nice planned for this week. I will be going to the pen show in the Netherlands in, I don't know, how to correctly pronounce this city, but I would pronounce it Utrecht. Um, but yeah, so that's my plan for the weekend. I'll be going there, and it's my first pen show. I'm not planning on buying, well, not buying anything. That certainly won't be true, but I'm not going there to buy stuff. Most likely I would come home with something, but hopefully not a whole bunch of stuff. As I said, I have enough pens. I don't feel the need to get any more. But yeah, I just wanted to see what the pen show is like, and it's just good timing, and so I just, yeah, want to go there and experience this whole thing. Okay, so that is basically my weekly setup. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you use the time to also set up your own bullet journal. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see you again when I share my next setup. And yeah, have a lovely day. See ya. Bye.